Hello friends, you are watching ISC Mathematics and we are solving chapter number 2 compound interest ICSC Mathematics Standard 9. Okay, in the last class we have completed question number exercise 2B question number 10 and question number 11. I told you to try yourself. Okay, now let us start question number 11. I think you must have done yourself. Now question number 12 onwards will start today. In question number 12, let us read the question. On what sum of money will the compound interest for 2 years at 8% per annum will 7488? Okay, in this question you are given CI, that is rupees 7488. Time is given to 2 years and rate is given 8% per annum. Okay, here we have to find the sum, that is principal. We have a formula to calculate CI. CI is equal to A minus P. Okay, therefore CI is equal to, since we don't have any of the value A and P, so that what we will do, for amount we will put the formula P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n minus P. Now from the two terms we can take P common. So let us take P common. So CI is equal to P into bracket 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n minus 1. Now we will put the values. Value of CI is 7488. 7488 is equal to P into bracket 1 plus rate is 8%, 8 upon 100 raised to 2 minus 1, 4 2 za, 4 25 za, therefore 7488 is equal to P. 25 1 za 25 plus 2, 27 upon 25, the whole square minus 1. Therefore 7488 is equal to P. 27 square is 729, 25 square 625 minus 1. Therefore 7488 is equal to P. 729 minus 625 upon 625. Okay, now 7488 is equal to P into 104 upon 625. Therefore 7488 into 625 upon 104 is equal to P. And now let us reduce by 13. Okay, 13 8 are 104. 13 5 are 65, 13 7 are 91, and 13 7 13 6 are, yes or no? Again by 8 directly, 8 1 are 8 7 are 8 2 are. Now if you multiply 625 into 72, you will get the value of P to be 45,000, and therefore the required sum is rupees 45,000. Clear? Okay, now let us solve next question. Question number 13. The difference between the simple interest and the compound interest on a sum of money for 2 years at 12% per annum is rupees 216. Okay, here you are given the difference between SI and CI. Difference between simple interest and compound interest is rupees 558 Okay, time is given 3 years and rate is given to be 10%. Clear? So what we will do, we will consider some principal. Principal is not given, that we have to find out. We have to find the sum, that is principal. So we will consider some value of principal. We can consider it to be x. So let the principal be, let the principal be rupees x. Okay, and therefore SI is equal to P RT upon 100 is equal to x into 10 into 3 upon 100 is equal to 3x upon 10. This is the simple interest. Now CI. So in order to calculate CI, we will put the formula of amount first. P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n. Therefore amount is equal to x 1 plus 10 upon 100 raised to 3. Therefore amount is equal to x into 11 by 10 raised to 3. Yes or no? And now amount is equal to 1331x upon 1000. Okay, this is amount. Now let us calculate CI. A minus P, so 1331x upon 1000 minus x. Clear? So 1331x minus 1000x upon 1000, and therefore CI is equals to 331x upon 1000. This is CI. Okay, now difference. Now you are given CI minus SI. The difference is rupees 558, and therefore 331x upon 1000 minus 3x upon 10 equal to 558. Okay, now take LCM and simplify. Therefore 1000 331x minus 300x is equal to 558. So 31x upon 100 is equal to 558. Therefore x is equal to 558 into 100 upon 30. 31 ones are 31. Okay, so 25. So 26 is remainder. Okay, 31 exa, because 30 exa will be 240. Yes or no? 31 55. Okay, sorry, it is 4. 14 remainder. 55 minus 31 is 14, so 148. Yes, so exa will do 31 exa, and therefore x is equal to 1800, and therefore sum or required sum is rupees 1800. Clear? So this is the answer. So with this, question number 14 is over. Hmm. And a small mistake is there. Here it is 1000 by mistake. Here we have wrote 100. So again 1000 will come. Okay, so just add one more zero. It will be 18,000. Okay, now let us solve question number 14. Find the difference between SI and CI on a sum of money for 3 years at 10% per annum. Okay, again the difference is given. So this is okay. By mistake it seems we solved the 14th one. So the previous one, the previous question which we solved, that was question number 14. Okay, however 14 and 13 both are similar. Clear? So but still I will solve 13 number also. Question number 13, difference between SI and CI is given to be rupees 216. Time is given 2 years. The rate is 12% per annum. Let us first calculate SI. Okay, before this we'll consider the principal to be rupees X. Let principal be rupees X and therefore SI is equals to PRT upon 100 X into 12 into time is 2. Okay, so 24x upon 100. Clear? This is the simple interest. Okay, now we'll put the formula for amount. Now amount A is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n. So X into 1 plus 12 upon 100 raised to, and time is 2 years, is equal to X into 112 upon 100 raised to 2. So X is equal to 112 into, or we can do one thing. Let us simplify, let us reduce by 4. Okay, 4 3s are 4, 25s are 25 1 are 25 plus 3, 28 upon 25 the whole square. So 28 will be 784 upon 625. Clear? So amount is 784x upon 625. Now we can calculate. Okay, since we have reduced over here, so in this case also I will write one more step. I will reduce by 4, 4 6 are 4, 25 are, so 6x upon 25. We will consider the SI to be 6x upon 25. Okay, now let us find out CI in this case. We have got the amount. Okay, now CI, amount minus principal rupees 784x upon 625 minus x. So 784x minus 625x upon 625. Okay, 784 upon 625 will be 59. Yes or no? Yes. So we will get the difference to be 59x upon 625. This is CI. Okay, this is number 2. Now we'll find out the difference. Okay, difference is given to be 216. The difference between CI and SI is 216. Now CI minus SI is equals to 216. So 59x upon 625 minus 6x upon 25 is equals to 216. LCM will be 625 only. 59x minus, okay, one more mistake over here. This will be 159, mind it. Yes or no? Because 7 minus 6 will be 1. Okay, so 159 minus 25, 6 are 150x is equals to 216. Therefore 9x upon 625 is equals to 216. Therefore 216 into 625 upon 9. Okay, 9 2s are 18, 24, 9s are 216. Now 625 into 24. Now 25 are 625 and 15,600. Therefore x will be equal to rupees 15,600. 625 24s are, okay. So the answer must be 15,600. Let us check the answer. This is question number 12. Or question number 13. Yes or no? Okay. Let us multiply and check. This I have done directly. So let me multiply. Yes. Yes, product will be 15,000 only. Yes or no? Because 625 25 will be 15,625. So 625 24 will be 15,000 only, and therefore our answer is correct. Okay, and therefore let us write down. Therefore required sum is rupees 15,000. Clear? Okay, so question number 13 is also over. Now let us solve the next question, that is question number 14 we have already completed. Now we will solve question number 15. Okay, the difference between compound interest for 1 year, compounded half yearly and the simple interest is given. Okay, again here difference between CI and SI is given to be rupees 360. We have to find the sum. Okay, similar type of question, but here the CI is calculated half yearly and the time period is 1 year. Okay, in this case also we'll consider principal to be rupees x only. Let principal be rupees x, time 1 year, and rate is given to be 10%. Okay, so SI is equal to PRT upon 100. So x into 10 into 1, x upon 10, this is the SI. Okay, now amount, we'll put the formula amount. Remember that the interest is calculated half yearly, so formula will be R upon 2 into 100 raised to 2n. Amount is equals to P into 1 plus 10. Time is 1 year. Principal is x. Okay, so 1 plus 1 upon 20 21 upon 20 raised to 2. Therefore amount 21 square will be 441 upon 400. This is the amount. Now let us subtract to find CI. Okay, CI is equal to A minus P. So we have 441x upon 400. 441x minus 400x upon 400. So 41x upon 400. This is the compound interest. Clear? Now we will subtract. SI is x upon 10. Okay, now CI minus SI is given, I think 336. Let us check in the question. Okay, it is 360. It is 360. Okay, CI is 41x upon 400 minus SI was x by 10. Okay, so now we can simplify 400. 41x minus 40x is equal to 360. Therefore x is equal to 360 into 40. Therefore x is equal to, and therefore required sum is rupees 1,44,000. So this is question number 15. Yes, 1,44,000. This is the right answer. Okay, so with this question number 15 is over. Now let us solve the next question. That is question number 16. Okay, at what rate percent per annum compound interest will rupees 6250 amount to? Okay, here principal and amount, two things are given. Principal is rupees 6,250 and amount is rupees 7,290. At what rate percent? We have to find the rate percent. Time is 2 years and rate we have to find out. Yes or no? Okay, so we will find out the rate percent. So since principal and amount both are given, we can put the formula to calculate amount. A is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n. Amount is 7290 is equal to principal is 6250 into 1 plus rate we have to find out and time is 2 years. 6250 will put in denominator on the left side. Therefore 7290 upon 6250 is equal to, this bracket will remain as it is, no change. Okay, this side we can reduce, this 1 0 we can cut, so we will get 729 upon 625. Okay, now look at the right hand side. The right hand side, the power of the bracket is 2. Okay, so since the exponent on the right hand side is 2, on left hand side also we will try to write both numerator and denominator as a power of some number. So we know that as a square. Because the power is 2, so we will write 729 and 625 both as a square of some number. We know that 729 is the square of 27 and 625 is the square of 25. So together we can write 27 upon 25 the whole square is equal to 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 2. Okay, now since the powers on the both sides are equal and therefore we can equate the base. Therefore 27 upon 25 is equal to 1 plus r upon 100. Now we will further simplify. Therefore 27 upon 25 minus 1 is equals to 27 minus 25 upon 25. So 2 upon 25 into 100 is equal to r. 25 folds and therefore r is equal to 8%. This is the required rate of interest. Clear? Okay, so question number 16 is also over. Now let us solve question number 17. Again we have to find the rate percent only. So similar type of question with different values. Let us solve question number 17. Okay, principal is given rupees 3000, amount is given rupees 3993 and time is given to be 3 years. We have to again find the rate of interest. So again we'll put the formula. A is equal to B into bracket 1 plus r upon 100 raised to n. Okay, now let us put the values. 3993 is equals to 3000 into 1 plus rate. We have to find out upon 100 raised to power. Time is 3 years. Okay, and therefore 3993 upon 3000 is equal to 1 plus. Okay, now in this case you will notice that the power on the right hand side is 3. So we will simplify this ratio such that the number in numerator and denominator can be written as a such that we get the exponent to be 3. Yes or no? As a power of some number to be 3. Clear? Yes or no? So let us reduce. These two numbers can be reduced with 3. So 3 1000 and 3 3 ones are. Okay, so we got over here 1331 and upon 1000 is equal to 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 3. Okay, now you will notice that 1331 can be written as 11 raised to 3. Okay, and 1000 can be written as 10 raised to 3. So the ratio can be written as 11 upon 10 whole raised to 3 is equal to 1 plus. Here again, since the power on both the sides is equal, we can equate the base, and therefore 11 upon 10 is equal to 1 plus r upon 100. Therefore 11 upon 10 minus 1 is equal to r upon 100 into 100 is equals to r. This 1 0 will get 11 minus 10 1. 1 into 10 is equal to 10%. Clear? So the required rate of interest is 10%. Okay, so we have completed question number 17. Now let us move on to question number 18. Okay, in what time will rupees 1520 amount to? Here principal or sum is given rupees 5120, amount is given 7290. Okay, rate is given 12.5%. We have to find the time. Yes or no? Clear? So again we'll put the formula to calculate the amount. Okay, rate will be 25/2%. Okay, A is equal to P into bracket 1 plus R upon 100 raised to N. Therefore amount is 7290 is equals to principal is 51,201 plus rate is 25/2 into 100 raised to N. We have to find out. Okay, here inside bracket 25 1 and 4 za. Okay, 5120 will put in denominator on the left side. Therefore 7290 upon 5120 is equals to 1 plus 1 upon 4 2 za 8 raised to N. Okay, 2 zeros we can reduce, so 729 upon 512 is equal to 9/8 raised to N. Okay, now observe carefully the last step. Okay, we have an unknown value N. N is the variable. Okay, what is the base? 9 upon 8. So since on the right hand side the base is 9 upon 8, on the left hand side also we must bring the base to be 9 upon 8 only. Okay, so we'll write this ratio as a power of 9 upon 8, some power of 9 upon 8. Now what power that you will think? 729 is the square of 27, cube of 9, because we want 9 only. So what power of 9 will be 729? That is 3. Yes or no? So 9 raised to 3 and this is 8 raised to 3. Clear? So together we can write 9 upon 8 whole raised to 3 is equals to 9 upon 8 raised to N. Okay, now since the base on both the sides is equal, we can equate the power. Therefore 3 is equals to N, and therefore N is equals to 3 years. This is the required time. Clear? I hope you are getting this all the questions. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Okay, now let us solve the next question, that is question number 19. Okay, certain sum of money amounts to rupees 7260 in 2 years and 7986 in 3 years. You are given the two amounts. Okay, this question is important. Let us once again read and understand the question. A certain sum of money amounts to rupees 7260 in 2 years and to 7986 in 3 years. Interest being compounded annually. Find the rate percent per annum. Okay, so what data is given in question? That is it is very compulsory to understand that what you are given. Okay, you are given the amount at the end of 2 years, that is 7260. Another data is amount at the end of 3 years, that is 7986. So we are given the amounts for the at the end of second year and at the end of third year respectively. So let us write down that amount at the end of second year is equal to 7260 and amount at the end of third year will be rupees 7986. Okay, we have to find the rate percent. Okay, now let us try to understand this fact. If you denote the amount at the end of second year by A2, so you are given A2. Yes or no? Amount, this is your A2. Again, amount at the end of third year you are given A3. How you will obtain A3? So A3 will be equal to A2 plus interest. Yes or no? Why A2? Because we know that second year's amount becomes the principal for the third year. So this is actually we are writing for amount. What is the formula? P plus I. Amount for the third year, that is equal to principal plus interest. Now what will be the principal for the third year in the calculation of third year? That is actually the amount of the second year. Yes or no? So therefore A3 is equals to A2 minus A2 plus I, and therefore A3 minus A2 is equals to I. So this funda we are going to use over here. What we will do, we will take the difference. You are given the amounts for two successive years. So when you take the difference of A3 and A2, you will get the interest for the 1 year on the principal. What will be the principal? That is the smaller value, that is A2. Clear? So here what is the next step? We will take the difference of the amounts of two successive years. Now that difference is the simple interest for 1 year on rupees 7260. Clear? So difference between A3 and A2. Okay, here by A3 we will mean amount. Okay, let me write down in brackets so that you can understand. Is equal to 7986 minus 7260. So 7986 7260. Okay, 726. So rupees 726 is the difference between the amounts for two successive years. Now we will write that 726 is simple interest or interest. Now rupees 726 is the interest on rupees 7260 for 1 year. Yes or no? So now you have the interest, the principal and the time. So we can put the formula to calculate the rate. Therefore rate is equals to SI or I into 100 upon P into T. Interest is 726 into 100. 7260 into time is 1. 726 ones are 10s are, and this 1 0 will get cancelled. So we will get the rate to be 10% per annum. Clear? So this is an important question, and I hope you have understood this. Even if you have a query, then you can ask me. I will once again explain. Clear? So question number 19 is over, and with this exercise is also over. Exercise 2B is also over. Now in the next class we will see certain formulas for the population growth, population decrease, and for depreciation. Clear? These 2-3 formulas we will see, and then we will start the next exercise. Okay? Thank you very much.